So,
How you doing?
hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Come on in. This is right on time. So this is Cierra, everyone. Don, hey Don.
How are you?
Good to have you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, everyone. So I've got. Say hi. Okay, everyone. So we are ready to get started. I'm excited to have them here today. I basically share right now how I met you. Well, this is my first time meeting Cierra. I went to her event, but I didn't take time to talk with her. She had a lot of people around her and everything, so I left. But I know Dawn from years back. That already. So now we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Everybody's excited about hearing your story. So basically,
Awesome.
So basically, that's what this is all about. I bring people on to share their story of purpose and just what's the purpose. So we can start off. Well, this is a beautiful couple. I'm gonna start off with Cierra. So, because Cierra has an amazing organization, as I shared with you all already, called Fly Life Inc. So we're gonna let her go ahead and share her story about Fly Life. So you can go right ahead.
Just about what it's about, and okay, so
and then you can go into how it all got started for you. What was
okay, cool. Fly Life is a girls mentorship program here in Atlanta, and so we service girls ages 8 to 18 years old, and we basically empower them to live fly inside and out. And so we do that through like weekly after school mentorship meetings, and so we meet with them once a week. We're partnered with several schools here in the Atlanta area. And so we love it, man. We've been doing it. I've been mentoring about through Fly Life about 6-7 years. We've been an official nonprofit for about 1 year, and so I'm truly excited about that. But we just love young ladies. We love mentoring girls. We've been blessed to mentor hundreds of them, and so the whole goal is to empower them to be fly inside and out. And so we have curriculum, we do conferences, we do crazy events. You came to our award show. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate that. And so that's pretty much what we do with Fly Life. And the reason why I started Fly Life is I used to be a teacher for a little while. And so I saw the need to not just teach academics, but teach life and teach young women how to be great women, inside and out, and embrace their unique design. And so I had more of a passion to teach life than I did teaching academics. And so I left the classroom in 2011, and I haven't been back. And and that's when I really had the vision to start my mentorship program, and we've been doing it ever since. So I just wanted to be another source or tool in their life to help them achieve their purpose. So yeah.
How did you discover the need for that to teach about life and not just academics? Where?
Oh wow! Just being in tune to the young people that I was around as an educator. Just being in tune to them, listening to them. I have an unorthodox style of working with young people, which allows them to have a voice. And so the more you give them a voice, the more they'll be honest with you about where they are. And so they were dealing with stuff like sexual abuse or poverty. Symptoms of poverty, like, not having the money to wash their clothes, or, not eating 3 meals a day, or healthy meals, or domestic violence at home, or, rejection from a parent, abandonment from a parent, just different life issues, being bullied, self-esteem issues. And so as you begin to really get to know the young person, you'll see their hurt and their pain. And so, my story was that I was a troubled, young person as well. And so, it took people and leaders and systems and programs in my life to help change my life around. And so I wanted to provide the same thing for young girls. And so that's kind of like my why.
Oh, okay. Okay. Was that why for you? Was that always there, or did it just come after you became a teacher, or was it always there for you to want to do that?
Well, when I was a teenager, when my life started shifting and changing when I was a teenager, when I started really believing in myself and people began to show me different things about life that I had never been exposed to before that, I really just was about the streets, honestly. And so, when I began to see that there were other opportunities, like I could be an entrepreneur, or I could go to college, like that. Then really, people used to say that, but I'm like, man, I'm not an A student, so how can I go to college? You know. And so I disqualified myself, and so it took people coming into my life and then telling me that I could and that it was possible, and that's when things began to shift and change for me. And so I say my passion for young people really started when I was a young person, because one, there were adults that didn't give me a voice, and I said, when I become an adult, I'm never gonna be like you. And then there were young adults that did give me a voice, and I said, I want to be like that. And so I had the bad and the good example, which as a teenager, I always said I wanted to work with young people when I became an adult.
Okay. Was there a specific adult in your teenage life that made you that's wrong?
This lady named Stephanie Douglas, which is one of my classmates and childhood friends. Mom, Harry Douglas, was actually an NFL player, but his mom mentored me a lot when I was younger. She used to do like these like girl Bible studies at her house, and it used to be me and my three best friends, and we'll go over and she'll sit us down, and she'll just teach us different things about how to be a lady and just different things. And she used to pray with us all the time, but she was a great example of what a woman was. She was very positive, a mother, a wife, and I was like, this is cool. And then of course my mom, just seeing my mom transform, because I had a teen mom, and to see my mom just transform and go after her dreams. Like, a lot of people told my mom when she got pregnant with me at 16 that she wasn't going to be successful. And by the time I was a teenager, my mom was making 6 figures as an entrepreneur in the hair industry. And so I saw my mom take people's no's and man, I tell her all the time, she's my shero. Yeah. And then I just saw her life begin to change. And so I wanted to, I had strong examples around me. And I was like, man, what if I could be another strong example to the next generation? Right. And so that's what we have to do. We have to constantly learn to empower. It's not just for us to sit on.
Right, exactly. Okay. Wow, that's exciting. So you also have had a career in history and music. So what? Tell us about that.
Well, it's crazy because when I stopped teaching in 2011, the goal was to do my music and allow my music and my mentorship program to kind of like go hand in hand. And so I kind of launched both of them around the same time. Okay. But actually, I take that back. No, I didn't. I launched the mentorship program first. Okay. And so I started my mentorship program, and then I started doing radio. And then on radio, I had a segment in my show where I used to freestyle. And so people used to love it. Like, they was like, I never seen a girl just like freestyle. And back then I was, I kept it sharp, and people used to call in. They really loved it. They was like, you should do music. And so then I had an opportunity to do a song for my church, which is a pretty large ministry. And they released the song, and I was like, okay, I kind of like this music thing. And so I started really pursuing it as a way to inspire young people. Okay. And so, I was doing music heavy for a season, and when I got married, I kind of stepped back a little bit. One, for 2 reasons. One, to just kind of get acclimated to what it means to be a wife, because when I was doing my music heavy, I was performing like 4 or 5 times a week. Oh, wow. So I was out all night. I would come home at like 7 a.m., 9 o'clock a.m. in the studios. It's just a different time schedule. Yeah. So you can't really do that when you first get married. You got to kind of figure out what that looks like. Right. And so I was like, well, that made it work.
Thank you.
Okay, so maybe I need to just slow down a second, kind of get acclimated to what a wife is, because I didn't know what that really meant. And so for me, and then the second reason why I slowed down is because I really want to focus on building my mentorship program and creating systems to where, God forbid, if anything happened to me, or if my season was up for leading it, that it could still be powerful and impact girls, throughout. So, yeah. Okay, that's good.
Wow. So I guess that makes the next question. Well, first of all, I want to ask you.
In the studio in like the last 3 weeks, which is cool. But I don't know what to rap. I'm gonna think of something. But you know what? About women. Yeah, I'll rap Okay, so this is off a song I did about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. But it's called Residue, and so I say, it's time for the queens come back from the big house to the trap. Money don't mean nothing. You work more than them stacks and a couple rats. Can't be bought or sold. Start aiming for your goals. Stop searching for that goal. Don't want to lose your soul. This chestnut checkers, you can't double decker. Don't be easy type. Powerful with purpose. Get your mind right. Wake up better. Get up from what you going through. Let your past go. Shake off that residue. So yeah.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so you talked about pulling back on the music for a while to transition into marriage and being a wife and all that. So what was that transition like for you?
It was tough. It really was. Not in a way like, oh, I hate I got married, but in a way like, this is really new, and no one really trained me for this. It's almost like riding a bike. You have to figure out how to pedal. And so I had to figure out how to pedal. You know, I was like, okay, so this is different. And also I was so used to being by myself. And I had to learn that I have this person that wants to partner and do life with me. And so, and allow them to do so, because, you know, I was single most of my 20s. So I had really got used to like just taking care of myself. And so I had to, you know, Don had to tell me all the time, hey, I'm here to help, you know. And so that's why I say it was kind of tough for me. And then, you know, so I was just used to like rhyming. I'm a very driven individual, self-driven, you know. And so I just had to learn like, oh man, I have this person that's willing to hold my hand and run with me. And so that was a transition for me, because I wasn't used to that. I was used to my, you know, parental guidance, but not in the sense of let's do life together, you know. And so, and no one really prepares you for that. A lot of people don't have that kind of conversation. They kind of give you the do's and don'ts based on their perspective, which is not always right or fits every relationship. But no one ever taught me like, okay, so this is how you transition from being a single woman living, you know, and on your own and making your own decisions and planning your future for yourself, coming together with one another human being with different ideas, different purpose, and becoming one and creating a household vision, which is totally different from a single woman vision. And so I just had to learn that, you know, and so it was pretty cool. We're 3 years in now. I think I'm doing better now. I think I let him help me a little bit. But that first year, I was like, intentional. It was my first nature. It was almost like, he's like, oh, you have a show tonight? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Because I'm not used to telling anybody. I'm just used to. He's like, I found out on Facebook you had a show tonight. So you know, way to find out. Okay, so here's my schedule for the week. You know, and then synchronizing and all those different things, the logistical parts of what people don't really talk about in marriage. You know, syncing your schedules, making time for each other, all that kind of stuff.
It's intentional. It's like
it's intentional. That was the biggest transition for me, I would say.
So Don, what was the transition like for you?
For me, about the same, I guess. Is just understanding that, hey, there's no more just by yourself. You gotta understand that you can't just go out and buy some food for yourself. You know, just like the little things. And I'm gonna grab me something to eat. Oh, that's right. You want anything to eat? Like, you gotta it's just the little stuff. You know, you're used to doing by yourself and for yourself. And so, just remembering that, hey, it's cool for me. I wasn't as prepared either, but I was ready for it. Like, I was kind of already prepping beforehand. Like, how do I need to handle this? What do I need to do? You know, how do I become a husband?
Were you like that too? Were you like preparing beforehand, or was this? How did it all come about? So how did the two of you meet, and how did it progress to let's get married?
So so at Guitar Center in Fayetteville, Georgia, and I get it for you. we met in Guitar Center in Fayetteville, Georgia, and I was working there at the time, and of course, she was an artist, so she was coming in to buy some equipment for her music studio, and I was working there and kind of selling music studio equipment. And came in with a producer, a male friend of hers, and I didn't really care at all. Just being honest, I seen her was like, hey, how you do it? So that's pretty much where I was at mentally already. So I seen her was like, hey, so when we get married? That's literally my first thought. So,
really?
Yeah, off the top.
What?
Off the top. But of course I couldn't, that's just not how she was going to receive that. So I wasn't going to say that.
No.
But she had, at all, like, believe me when I tell you that wasn't how it was going to work. So I introduced myself and really to actually still do my job. I was there to do a job. So I was actually happy that she wanted to get some information on certain stuff. But at the time, I was also into music. That was the reason why I took the job at Guitar Center. I was producing music for local artists in here in Atlanta, and I had a studio. So when I found out that she was doing music or whatever the case may be, of course, my first thing's like, let's do some music together. Yeah, okay. I'm just being honest. I mean, that was game. I was ready game. So,
Cierra, what was your reaction when he was trying?
She was all in front mode.
Well, because I was there with the guy that I do music with. Yeah. So he'll probably tell you when I'm business,
focus.
I'm business.
Okay.
And so, I don't, it's no. I'm like, cool, that's what's up. I'll come up to your studio.
Right.
Yeah. I brought someone with me because I don't know you, so for me, professional.
Okay.
It was totally professional.
And I kept it professional as much as possible.
He really did.
I did. I mean, you see someone that you look at and you meet her and you realize that, at the end of the day, it wasn't professional or even slightly disrespectful. She out of that. So it was like, all right, you can mess this up, or you can at least just be friends with her and get to know her. So that's what I was doing. I mean, when she put that friend necklace around my neck, it was like that friend zone necklace. That friend zone necklace was on me for about 3 years. So she wouldn't hear nothing. It was just all friend zone. So it was about 3 years.
Yeah, but when we met, I had just got out of a 2-year relationship a week before. To the point where the first time I think we hung out, a picture of me and my ex-boyfriend was in the car. We had just broke up. We were talking potential marriage, like marriage counseling, right before we broke up. So I was not looking for anything at all. Period. Almost that entire 3-year span, we were friends after we met because I just wasn't ready emotionally to dive back into something.
Gotcha.
So I really was just focusing on Fly, like Fly Music, Fly Life, my mentorship program. Like I was just really focused on doing my goals and achieving my purpose in life. And so I was married. I always used to say then I'm married to my purpose. I don't see I wasn't even open. I think he asked to take me to the movies. We went, but I was like brothering him the whole time. Like, what's up, bro? So it was very. So because my heart just wasn't in the right place to even open up to another guy.
Yeah,
So
I get it. Okay. So what finally made you come around?
It's a crazy story. We finally started back talking, and I think he was like, meet me at somewhere, and we went somewhere, and I talked the whole time about guys I liked, because I treat him like a brother. So I'm like, so he's like, who do you like right now? I was like, you sure you want to know? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I was showing him pictures of guys I like on Instagram and everything, because I'm like, it's my brother, we cool. And he's like, so you never gonna give me a time of day? I'm like, I just don't see you like that. I didn't see him in that way. I didn't think we were compatible.
Yes.
No, I didn't think we were compatible. But I'm real big on synergy and being compatible, and I'm really laid back. And I was like, I don't know, we're gonna mesh well. And so I was never open to it. And so I guess maybe 4 more months went by, and then he called me And we were hanging out, and then I guess he just got tired. Because by the time it's 3 years, and in between that, he was dating and doing his thing. Like, he was just,
Oh,
Yeah. Look, you gotta say.
yeah, women. I'm done. You know, tracing you, I'm content finally with just being your friend. And I felt weird. And I was like, that feels weird. And I didn't know why.
Somebody going on for years, like, you know, I married you if you don't give me time of day. Like, why you don't call me? Like, you get that all the time, and you know he like you, and you know he's pursuing, but it's just friends, right? So I think after a while of just hearing that and got used to this guy, right? And then he goes, all right, I'm done, time out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was like, oh, I think he really is. So I'm just, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think I prayed about it because I'm real big on praying about, especially after the relationships I had been in prior. You know, I was kind of like, I love hard, and so like my 2 relationships before him were 2-year and 4-year.
wow.
So I'm not like we just kicking it kind of. I date with a purpose, and so I was like, I know if I'm gonna get in a relationship, at least I need to know that if it goes serious, that I can marry you. So for me to say yes to be your girlfriend is a deeper yes for me.
Okay.
Because I love that way, and so I'm like, can I see myself with him forever? So I think I prayed about it, and then God was like, he's a good guy, give him a shot, kind of thing. And I just cried, and I was just like, this dude's in my face, and I ain't paying him no attention. Like, to the point I told my family I would never date him. I was like, I'll never date him. Wow. So, and then my heart just changed. It was weird. After I prayed, my heart changed. Wow. And I told him, and I think he was shocked. He got the phone real fast. He was like,
I had no clue. I was like, hold on.
So what did you say to him? How did you say it?
I don't remember. I remember I got emotional, which was weird. And then I was like, I think I like you, you know? And it was rare. And then he kind of was like...
Well, what happened was she paused for a minute after I told her I'm just kind of, I'm chilling on it right now. I'm moving. And then she kind of paused and got quiet. And I was like, yeah, all right. Like, what's going on? You straight? And I think I was at my mom's house, right? In South Carolina?
No. This is before.
Okay, gotcha. So, anyway, she paused on that, and I was like, "You okay?" And she, or something, I don't know, and I was like, crying? It threw me, because I didn't understand where it came from. Right. I was like, never seen her cry, never heard her cry before. So, I was like,
yeah,
right.
my heart was changing.
I said,
it was
what
weird.
are you crying for? She said, something good and didn't pay it any attention. And I was like,
wow.
And when I heard it, I was like, whoa. And I looked at the phone like, is she telling me this? You know what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying, for years I've never heard any of this positivity in the I like you kind of sense. It's always been like bro, friend, homie.
Yeah.
So to hear anything that's in a sense of an direction, I was like, and then I had to stop for a minute after we had that conversation of what she felt and what was going on at the time in this conversation. That's when I had to take it like to make sure I was prepared, because now I've gotten her heart involved. You know what I mean? It's like, you know how you could be like, yeah, let's go get some ice cream, and then you go, hold on, because if I get everybody excited, am I paying for everybody? You know what I mean? And then everybody like, something too, right?
Yeah.
I got excited, but then
Right,
it's exciting.
exactly.
So that's exactly what kind of happened.
Yeah.
It was like one of those moments I got excited, but then at the same time I was like, hold on, this is gonna be real. She's one of those women you cannot just hang out and be in a relationship for a short moment and go somewhere else. So this is gonna be like a real permanent situation. So I had to ask myself, was I really ready? Seriously, because it was like.
But then he hit me with like, give me a week.
Yeah.
He did, and I was like.
Quit trying to flirt with you every time I talk. Like, I'm just keep it in the friend zone, leave it at that, and I'm literally gonna date someone else. Like, I was literally seeing someone kind of at the time. Like, it's not in a relationship, but we kind of just been dating and hanging out ourselves.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure where that was finna go either. You know what I mean? But you know how you like, you date other women, but your heart, like, you really want this person, right? So that's what I was doing. I was hanging out, dating other women, but I knew, like, somebody I really, really wanted was this person. So when it happened, I was like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to make some adjustments with my life completely. Because the way my life was kind of set up, it was real bachelor. So I was like, time out, give me a week. And all I knew in that week was I'm gonna make some phone calls, tell her I can't date her no more, tell her I can't hang out with her no more. Like, really? I had to, because I can't bring her in a situation where my phone is still blowing up with females that I just went out to the movies with or just went to the club with. It was like, and I was literally dating someone that I had no reason to not date her anymore. None. Like, we was good. We was in good terms. There was no issues.
Wow.
I just had to. It was like, I don't even know what to say. You know, I can't explain it. Like,
Wow.
so, and that's kind of why I needed a week, because I was like, let me get myself together, and mentally, because I know a lot of her principles were, she's not having sex before marriage, and I know in a relationship with her will be speaking of marriage, not like just relationship, because she's not that kind of woman. So I was like, all right, cool. I definitely need a week to get my head wrapped around the full logistics of what this will be and make sure I'm good.
Wow.
So, and then in that week, I started focusing on being a husband. How can I be a husband? And am I ready? And what do that consist of? I know I'm not ready financially. I know I'm not ready, you know, in all kinds of areas. And I was like, okay, what do husbands do? So it was just like, I needed a week to really get my head wrapped around that.
Right. So did you have some counsel? Did you have someone that you went to talk to? Really?
I ain't having one. I mean, most of the people I know are single. I had. That's all right. I had most of the people that were in my life are single, and most of the men. I mean, there's a few, maybe one or two, maybe. But my entire life, my entire family, I didn't see marriage, but I had an aunt that was married. And that's like the only person in my family that was actual marriage was my aunt, and that was it. And just seeing her story, I couldn't really go to her for advice because I wasn't sure what I might get. True. So I was like, I figured out. Give it back to YouTube, but I figured out.
Well, you've been doing a good job.
I'm trying, man. You know, I'm hanging in there. You know, I'm trying.
Yeah. So where came that moment when it was like, let's get married, or will you marry me? How?
From the moment we started dating to the moment we got married, I felt like we were on a Amtrak train. It was so fast. Like, we started dating, so after the week and all that stuff, he called me. Then after that, I was starting to get hesitant. I'm like, well, maybe I should do this. So then he's like, no. So Mother's Day, that's when you was at your mom's. And he was out of state. And he called me and he would just pour his heart out for like an hour. And I was just like, and I just listened. And he asked me out. And then I was like, this is real. Because when he started pouring his heart out, he was like, you the type of person I'm married. So I was like, he brought up marriage. Like then. So I was like, what am I saying yes to? So I was like, I'll call you back. And so I had to kind of.
Age where you can't just be like, that stuff is old. You can't.
It's bigger than that.
I'm in my 30s. I can't ask you that no more. I'm like, the next one I'm gonna be with on a serious level, I'm marrying her. So I had to make sure that's what that was gonna be.
So I went to go talk to my mom. I was like, I talked to God and my mom. In fact, I was with my mom when he called, and I was like, Mom, like, oh my God. So she was like, well, he gonna be serious, and he gonna marry. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you say yes, he gonna marry you quick. That's what my mom said.
Wow.
And she had never even met him. She was just like, he gonna marry you quick.
Really? She hadn't met him?
No, she was like, he gonna marry you quick. And I was like, okay.
I've never met none of the family before we got together.
Yeah, because as friends, I kept it as friends.
Okay, right.
And so, because my family gets attached to people quick, and I broke their heart a couple times. They'll be to bring them around. So, you know, they won't get so attached to people. And so, Mother's Day is when we started dating, and then we were engaged. That's May. We were engaged by November, and we were married in December.
Wow.
So literally 7 months.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that was it. It was like.
And the thing is, for me, is like I already knew who she was, and I didn't just meet her last week or nothing. You know what I mean? We've been friends for a few years.
Yeah. So y'all,
we didn't have an extremely close friendship, but we've been friends for 3 years, and I pretty much knew who I was, dealing with.
So
you can, after a certain amount of time, you can see a person's character. You can see what they made of, how they do. So at the time, I was like, she'll make a great mother for my kids.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Once I can answer that with she'll make a great mother for my kids. Like, we good. That's it. There's nothing else to question.
That's good. So now you're at this place. So now you're married, and now you have Fly Life. And I know that you, Don, had started your entrepreneurial thing with your men's clothing line called House of Kings.
Yes.
Okay. And so how was that, and you making the adjustment to say, you know what, I'm going to support my wife and her purpose right now?
So I started House of Kings, and it's weird because I really started it well before we met, but it was another type of brand. It was something made of different clothing, and I kind of paused on it because it was very difficult. I didn't understand the industry enough. I needed to do more research and just have a better grasp on things. So I was like, all right, time out. I'm gonna hold off on that for a minute. And then still working a regular job. And then once we transitioned and got together and kind of moved forward, just being around her friends, people, I was like, yeah, these people, and then working 9 to 5, and that's all you're gonna do for the rest of your life. No way. Right. Nobody around her just works a 9 to 5. So I was like, all right, there was a lot of things that I wanted to do in life. There's a lot of visions and dreams that I had and aspirations, but I never really brought them to fruition. So I was like, all right, I know this is what I love to do. I was working at a Nordstrom's when it really kind of, and I was working at Nordstrom's, and the lady suggested that I should work for this company as a personal stylist and selling suits. So that kind of brought the love of the suit world to me. Because at the time I liked wearing suits, but thinking of actually working in that industry was like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? And then working at Nordstrom's and becoming a personal stylist and also working in the shoe department. Once I left at Nordstrom's and working in women's shoes and doing stuff and styling a little bit, but I left there and became a personal stylist directly for this company with selling suits. It was like, yeah. Others, when it really kind of kicked in, I should do. And that's when I was like, I can do this. About their industry and the company that I work for and how it became who they are. And I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay. So, I mean, it's, if the wheel ain't broke, why try to fix it? Right. I mean, it's not the first company that's done it. It won't be the last one. It started identically the same way. So I said, I'm gonna do the same thing. And that's what happened, and I started House of Kings. And it was one of those things where at the time I wanted to have a suit clothing brand and also have a purpose of helping young men dress and look better. Because I just felt like if you go back and look at like our real black history and our civil rights leaders and all this other stuff, right? Most of those men, you rarely seen them in front of the camera, in front of the world, without a suit on. If you look at Martin Luther King, now, yeah, you got pictures of him and his wife hanging out with the kids. I mean, that's different, right? But I'm saying when he was speaking to the world, when he was talking to the world, when he was making a statement, he always had on a suit. You know what I mean? When he really was trying to reach the people, he had a suit on.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm X, I go down a list of them,
Yeah.
right? They had on suits usually,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like they felt like as a man, this is how I had to present myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, doesn't mean you're not a man if you don't present yourself this way.
Right.
But I just felt like we had standards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We kind of, they set standards, and it was just
Yeah.
like, this is what you do, young man.
The
you know,
suit
so-
kind of like represents that you, it represents that you're serious about your purpose.
And it's the
It makes
gentleman.
a statement when you
Yeah.
stand before people and you have to let them know this
Yeah.
is my purpose. This is what
Correct.
I'm here for. This
Correct.
is what I'm here for. Yeah.
And it's also a way of, you can still have a personal style and expression with it, but also present yourself as a gentleman and in a sense of business. I come professional, and what I do, I take serious. And I think well, I can express myself the way I want to express myself.
Mm.
And it's okay. I mean, I get that, and I'm never against that. You know, be who you are, be bold. You know, step into your light. That's cool. I get all that. You know what I mean? I'm so not against that.
Right.
But I still think there's a reason why suits been around since the 1600s.
That's good.
Garment or style or fashion has been around since then. It's very few that has. It's a reason why.
Yeah.
And I think it's our ancestry. When you talk about slavery, I mean, we weren't even allowed to wear suits at one point.
Oh.
You know what
See,
I mean?
didn't
We really
know.
couldn't. Like, so
Okay.
it's. And I'm one of those people. I'm a rebel, so it's like I'm one of those. If you tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna do it. And I want everybody else to do it
Right.
too. If you say I can't come in, I'm kicking in the door and I'm telling everybody to run in because that's was the person how I am. I just feel like there's no such thing as we can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So as a black man, it was like you only seen either civil rights leaders in suits or successful businessmen in other colors in suits. So I was just like, nah, man, we need to put our young men on suits. They need to know what this is. Like, you know, put this on, man. Step up. You know, show us that, you know, you mean business. Show us that you can be professional.
Right.
You can carry yourself. Not every black man is a hood person.
Right.
Or, you know, we don't always have to look from the ghetto. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's okay to put on a suit, and you don't have to be, you know, I think even also from other aspects, we kind of pick at our own race for cleaning up and being professional. Who do you think he is? He think he white? Huh? Stop.
Right.
What? How did that happen?
Right.
So I think I want to end that too. You know, there's no you want to be white. I don't. You know, why do you have to want to be white to wear a suit or be professional?
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I think
right.
we got to stop doing that to ourselves. So I just want to bring back that again. You know, and I see a lot of industries and a lot of the same thing. So I'm excited to be a part of the movement of, you know, tailoring suits, and it's still at its
There's nothing like a man in a tailor suit. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's just
That's the first time I was kind of looked at him and I was like,
really.
you're nice looking. Because before he would always be in his, you know, which I love him in his urban wear as well. But I remember the first time I saw him was probably about 6 months before we started dating. Officially, you know, I saw him in a suit for the first time. He had on like this like peak coat and a suit, and I was just like, where you come from? You know, he was still my friend then, but I was like, you. I agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And I've seen some of your photos on Instagram, and I was like, Don, look at Don, because you know when in class, you know, you don't dress like that in class. It's just it just says a whole nother thing when you have that suit on.
Oh yeah.
You know,
it's distinguished.
Yeah,
It's
very
a
distinguished.
It's a class of its own. It brings the gentleman out of a man. Like you really see another guy. Like this may be this guy, but when he put on a suit, he's a completely different guy.
Right.
There's more to him than just what
it's
meets the eye.
that inside out thing. It's something from the inside being expressed on the outside.
Correct.
So you get to see that other side. You get to see that there is some quality
Right.
in this person. You know,
Yeah.
Correct.
that's what that says.
Yeah.
So, wow. Okay.
So the birth of House of Kings, and the name House of Kings came from just me and my brother being raised in the house together. Just being raised by a woman, being raised by a queen, a mother. So it was just a house of little kings, just a bunch of little boys running around. So I think that's just my perception of it. That's how I seen it. You know, for her, we were her kings. Like we ran. You know, we were the protectors of the house. We had to hold it out. If she was ever, afraid, I mean, she looked at us. You know what I mean? So it was like, that was our role. You know what I mean? We had to be men early, like real early. Right. So, but I was okay with that role, you know. And I think a lot of young men kind of should take that role a little more. Because being the man of the house is not cool anymore. Being a boy in the streets and being a man in the streets is cool, but what about the house? Yeah. You know what I mean? Being a man in the house it should be cool, because that's what you're supposed to do. And so I think me and my brother became the man of the house early, you know, and we noticed things at a young age. When my mother was going through financial trouble, we realized, man, we eating up all the groceries. No, and it was moments we had to say, we can't do that no more. You know what I mean? We're enjoying too much of the fruits of her labor. You know what I mean? Where it was like, she gonna go out and work as hard as she can just to make sure there was enough food for us to eat. But we eating like we ain't, like she got it like that. We just eating 4-5 times a day, running through the snacks, and you just like, we tripping. Wow. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's where we had to learn stuff like that early. So we would, there'd be moments we look at each other, we're not eating that, we're gonna save this, we're gonna eat this, we're gonna go out and get our own money to provide, if we want to eat extra, eat luxury, we're gonna do that on our own dime. So that was how we had to think early, We stopped asking for Christmas at like 12. Really? We didn't want Christmas no more when we realized she was in debt to give us Christmas. I think there's certain things we had to learn early. It was like, just to have my way. Yeah. My mom is out here killing herself just so I can have my way. So that's what I look at it as a king, like a young man is really molded into learning himself and understanding what's important. Is paying attention to your house first. Oh, I like that. Understanding what's going on in your home first. Because if you don't see that, then how you gonna survive out there? Right.
That's good. So House of Kings, that really stands out now. Right. Now that you explain it like that, wow. Yeah.
So that's Kings, and many times I played with changing the name, and it's just like it got so much.
That suit really represents a purpose. You know,
correct. It's a statement.
Yeah.
Decoration.
Absolutely. Wow, that's awesome. So now, what's next for the Bobos? What's next for Fly Life? Or
much.
What's coming up?
I'll let you go first. We both got some.
Oh man, really? For me, it's definitely I'm getting back into my music, and Fly Life. We're focusing on growing and sustaining. This year for us is scalability and sustainability. Making sure we have the resources in place to sustain our impact. Because that's what we care about. We don't care about being in 50,000 schools if we're not impacting girls.
Oh, that's good.
And so, we want to sustain well and we want to scale well. So scale well means make sure wherever we go and plant in a new school or a new community, we have everything necessary to maintain culture of impact. And so that's our number one thing. And then, for me personally, it's just growing as a woman. I think as women, you take on all these roles. And men can do it too, but as women, we can take on all these roles. It's like, I'm a wife, I'm a mentor, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a that. But first, I'm a woman. And so for me, it's just growing as a woman and self-care, because I'm not a good wife if I'm not okay. I'm not a good mentor if I'm not okay. I'm not a good nothing if I'm not okay. So this year for me is really becoming intentional and teaching other people on how to be intentional about taking care of yourself, your inner self, so that you can be excellent in all your other roles. And so, kind of like what you said a few minutes ago, inside out. And that's why our slogan is fly inside out. It's like, but you gotta tend to the inner man. You gotta make sure that she's healthy, that she's okay, that she's confident, she's strong, she knows who she is, she can contribute, you know. She doesn't need other people to define her or to make her whole. You know, then I love them on my heart, but he doesn't make me whole.
Right.
You know, my relationship with God makes me whole.
Yes.
And if I'm not whole, you know, my brokenness will impact our relationship. And so for me, it's about being honest and authentic with where I am as a woman and growing in that place. And I feel like everything else around me will flourish.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
so that's my 2018 focus.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Because at every stage of life and journey, you're always embracing something new about yourself.
Yeah.
It never gets old. It's always, even at where I'm at. I'm not going to, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Right. Learning something new about yourself. So keep that up. Because I get concerned when I see people and they get stuck. That's one of the things with me when it comes to style and image and stuff. I can look at a person, I can tell that they're stuck and that they've stopped. And there's so much more inside and they're not tapping into it.
Yeah.
And they're stuck at this place and it's like.
Oh yeah.
You too, Dawn. Just embrace it. I think what I see a lot is that, and I think especially with women, I don't know, it's something about with women that we're always evolving. But we all do, men do too. But I think even more so, women are more open to embracing that.
Right.
More so than men. Yeah.
I think because we're carriers.
Yeah.
And we carry so much.
Yes.
You know, we were intended to carry. That's why we have a wound. You know, it's like we carry, you know, everything. We'll carry our kids' needs. We'll carry our spouse needs. We'll carry all this stuff. Like, as time goes on, from what I know at my point in life, and I have so much more to learn, is that I think you get to certain places in life when you realize it's okay not to carry it all, and you shed just a little bit more.
Right.
And my mom always tell me, when you hit 40, you don't care. When you hit 50, you really don't care.
Right.
You try to be superwoman and carry all these things for so long, and you realize that wasn't meant for you to carry. And I have to make sure that I uphold who I am, you know. So
And I guess that care a little bit easier. You know, like my first goal in the entire year is just, you know, just being a better husband, and I'm like the number one Fly Life fan. I'm like people don't realize, hey man, he's a huge Fly Life fan.
he is.
And it's not because of my husband. I love what she do, how it impacts. I love all her girls. Them kids are like phenomenal. Them my homies, my buddies. For real.
That's actually why we relate.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, because we had a young lady. She just was devastated, thinking we couldn't make it to her party.
Yeah.
To her birthday party, and she was about to cry when we
Duluth.
left.
Really?
Yeah.
So we drove from Duluth to get here fast.
So it was like, oh, we gotta go.
Right.
She's sad, like we love
She
you.
looked like she about to cry when we
We have
left.
to go. We have to be
But I'm like a huge Fly
Yeah.
Life fan. Like I said, I love all the kids. So and it's fun and it's dope. So, you know, ultimately 2018, one of my biggest goals is to make sure I'm more I don't know if I can be more supportive, but I'm gonna be more supportive as possible and to help in any way to keep what she going. That's the first and foremost. That's always every year. I don't think that's gonna be 2018. This is 2019, 2020, all the way to 2080. But that's the first and foremost because I love what she do, and it means to me. And then I know most people probably think I sound crazy when I say this, and it may sound weird when I say this, but what she does to me is just almost even more important, like way more important than what I do. Like I care about it more than what I care about what I do. Like I don't really care about doing anything if I continue seeing what she do flourish and get big. lives. So for me, it's like, that's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? It's like, until I get to the point where I'm doing something that's saving lives, I mean, at the end of the day, that's way more important. So it's like, that's ultimately what I really want to see. Just continue to build, and whatever I got to do to support it and make sure it go and go and go. That's my ultimate goal. You know, there are things that I have planned for 2018 as well, but I think the beginning of that is making sure Fly Life really just.
I'm gonna do his since he didn't want to do it, but in 2018 he's gonna relaunch with the new look House of Kings, and so I'm really excited about that because he didn't mention that. But okay,
I'm having a relaunch of House of Kings.
Yeah. Storylines, I'm not gonna put them out there because we haven't got all the protection yet.
Okay.
But he has some shows, some shows he's working on, and
I can say that. I have a cartoon that I'm working on.
Don't give the concept.
Okay.
That I'm hoping or at least get picked up or bought in 2018.
Oh wow.
I have a bottled water. That's coming out hopefully real soon in the next few months.
Oh, okay.
A bottled water brand, and the bottled water is to help provide, I guess, accessibility to other nonprofits and the community itself. So the bottled water is to generate 50% of its income to go back into the community.
Okay.
So whenever you buy it, you pretty much bless in the community because it goes right back into the community.
Okay.
It's not a non-profit, but 50% of the actual profit goes back into the community. So, and then I have
trying to hold all that in.
I work on that. That's gonna be towards the end of 2018.
Okay.
I have a nonprofit that I'm working on.
Well, okay. One more thing I want to ask before we go, because what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing is that because you said something earlier about mentoring young boys, so I'm kind of seeing like
that's why I said I got
two-part thing going here with the girls and with the boys too.
Yeah. That's why I said I started my. I've already did paperwork a little bit on it, but I started my nonprofit for.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because I like.
Well,
again,
just
I like
in
what
general.
you're saying. Things I just.
Yeah.
And to have that, that's amazing. To have suits for young men and awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Woo! I could sit here and talk all day with you. Really good.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
I was excited about doing it anyway. It was just trying to make the time, but I really wanted to be here.
So
I'm glad to be here. And you dope. Always have been dope. For real, run my dog, man. I love what you're doing with fashion. I really want to ask you questions. We want to interview you right quick. A lot of nice pieces I've seen on there, and keep doing your thing. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you too.
Appreciate it.
Very proud of you.
Fashion is huge. It's crazy. We love fashion.
Yeah, yes, I can tell you. Yeah. I'm like,
I'm
gotta leave here and go all the way back to Marietta.
yeah, that's right. You told me.
We got so much.
You find out about Fly Life. Go.
For Fly Life. Social media, we are FlyLife.org, FlyLife.org, on all social media platforms, and our website is theflylife.org. And then for me personally, it's flymusicwithaq.com, working on new music, and Fly Music on all social media platforms.
Okay, so that's it. Fly Music with a Q.
Yes.
FLYMUSIQ.
Q.
And flylife.org.
The Flylife.
The Flylife.
Awesome.
And
for me, find me personally on social media. Instagram is I am Don Bobo. Facebook is Don Bobo. House of Kings. Facebook is House of Kings. Instagram new. It's a new. I'm starting a new Instagram page because I'm doing a revamp for the 2018 with 2 new collections. So
I'm excited about this.
it is Instagram is HSKG, abbreviation for House of
Exclusive.
Kings.
They're getting it exclusive.
Yeah, they really get it for people to hear about it. But
Okay.
HSKG
Okay.
is what you'll see most of. So
Big
the
things.
new vamp, you'll see nothing but HSKG all over stuff. So
Love
to find it, the best thing is find me. All my pages are linked to my page. So if you need to find it, you find me first.
Okay. And everyone, well, I'll also post all that information at the end of this broadcast. I'll post it on there so you all can, again, refer back to that to find them on social media. But again, thank you, Cierra
Thank you.
and
Thank
Dawn.
you.
It was
Thank you.
everyone for tuning in and joining. And my next broadcast, I have back the fabulous Fontessa, 74 years young. She'll be back to share her story about when she became the first black to sit on the Chicago Fashion Exchange Board. So I'm excited about having her back. And she has some more new pieces to share with us. She's actually working on a piece for me that she's created. So I'm excited about sharing that with you all next time. So anyway, thanks again for being here. We appreciate you.
Hey.
Love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thanks for being here. And I'll check you next time. Stay tuned. I'll be posting some. Bye. That was great, y'all.